Yeah, boy.
You a punk.
Boy, you can't stop me, boy. You
Oh,
can't stop.
whoa.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
All of your mouth, yeah.
You a punk.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing. Oh.
Hey.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
It's your boy, Blitz.
And I'm your boy, Bliggity, beating his butt in the game, Blur.
And welcome to another episode of GCE News.
Come on.
Hey, today we got a little something special. We're going to do a quick little head-to-head comparison for the handheld devices. And we're talking about the Switch. And we're
versus
the Nintendo Switch versus the Steam Deck. Yeah, we're going to be giving you guys some comparisons between the features and some of the stats, just because it's something we like to do.
And there's been a lot of debate lately on is Steam the Switch killer?
Yeah. So we're going to give you some information, and then we're going to give you some of our personal opinions to help you form. Maybe you can add your 2 cents in and see what you think, because kind of want to see where everyone's mind is on it. You know, from person to person there.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna trade over some old stuff. We're gonna give you the Steam Deck specs, give you the Nintendo Switch specs, and then we're gonna get into our personal opinions on what we think is gonna happen.
Yep. So let's jump right into it. So right off the bat, let's jump into price.
Yes.
So what we're looking at here for the Steam Deck, you're going to have a $400 version. You're going to have a $530 version. And you're going to have a $650 version. And so those are the 3 versions you're going to have, which is going to change different things. What's the price point on the Nintendo Switch?
The Nintendo OLED.
We talk about the Nintendo OLED. I'm sorry.
It's going to be $350. That's all you. It's only one unit. You can only get one thing.
Yeah.
It makes it really easy for you to choose which one to get.
Yeah, you can get different colors, but yeah, you're kind of going to be that one unit to pick from.
Okay. So
right off the bat, just by price point. So what do you think is going to happen sales-wise? You think just that one flat-out $350, no frills, no thrills, not a bunch of choices for you to pick from, going to shoot and sell? Or do you think the Steam is either going to have the $400 model, the $530 model, or the $650 model available at launch?
I think the issue, what I think people are going to choose. I mean, people want the Steam Deck, but I don't think they can get the yield. I don't think they can get it in the hands of people. When I looked up the sales figure, I think they sold 110,000 of the Steam Deck.
Steam Deck,
which is good.
Yeah,
it's good. But worldwide sales of the Nintendo Switch, we're not even talking about the OLED version. The OLED version is 85.7 million units sold.
Yeah.
So I don't think, even if they can get it into the hands of half of those people, it's going to take them a while. I think they'll have the lower price one, but I think from what I'm hearing, the other 2 prices, it will take a little longer to get.
The 530 and 650.
Yeah, so right off the back, I think Nintendo's going to have a better yield because okay. First of all, they're bigger. They've been in it long. I know that Steam makes a lot of money, but I don't know if they got Nintendo's money. And Nintendo's avenues
has an entire culture behind them.
Culture, and I think Nintendo has a supply chain to have everything that Steam Deck needs to make the yield. So I think the price point, $400 for the Steam Deck is a good for all that you get. Even the lower version is more powerful than the Switch OLED because it's only bringing a bigger, it's bringing a better display. I think it more RAM.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump into all the RAM.
So
stuff. So
go ahead. That's my point. That's my opinion. What do you think?
I think with both the giants, I consider Steam Deck a giant in the right of dropping a new handheld in this market right now is probably going to be a really big hit or a really big miss. There are other handhelds out there on the market besides them that have a way higher price point and a way more complicated operating system, but not as functional and as available as the Steam Deck is going to be. Steam Deck is probably going to be your average store, everything like that. These other ones we talking about are custom units that you can only order from them directly. So the Steam Deck is going to hit the mainstream market at this point in time in the juncture, not too far before Christmas. They're taking pre-orders now. They're trying to start sending them out in December, right?
Yeah, the $400 price point.
They're going to catch. They're going to catch the big influx of the holiday season because Mommy, Daddy, I want a Steam Deck. So that's going to be huge. So if It all depends on who is more prepared at launch day.
I still think that Nintendo got the bigger yield. I think they're going to be able to get the, even though Switch did have a shortage when the Switch first came out, I think the OLED is not going to have that shortage. I think they're going to have,
and also we have a slight theory between us that they purposely short the availability of these units to boost the sales out the door, because also you're going to have people scalping them.
And then you got to realize too, you're coming off of the pandemic where everything was locked in. You couldn't get a lot of components. So
so a lot of components and stuff were hard to do. So let's jump to another thing we can talk about. Let's talk about storage. Okay, so on the $400 model, you got 64 gigabytes. On the $530 model, you got 256 gigabytes. Okay, what is it? And on the $650 model, you got 512 gigabytes. And what you got on the Nintendo?
64 gigs. That's it. But you
64 gigs.
But you do get to. It does have an SD card, and the games can play natively off the SD card at a fast rate.
Okay, so since we talk about storage, so let's explain that to you guys. Yeah, that's more storage than processor. Kind of a little bit of both. We'll talk about processors next. But storage-wise, the point he's making is a lot of the game information are on the cards. So the game itself doesn't have to store all the data of it. Now, when you talk about Steam, you're talking about downloading a game into the hard drive and then playing it from there. You're not streaming it per se to play. You actually download it into the actual handheld system, which is going to take up space. So 64 gigs is going to really fast, especially when you get some.
What did I say? 128 should have been the $400 model. 128 should have been. I mean, that should have been the beginning. 64 gigs to me is piddly. I don't know why they put it out there. It shouldn't have been out there.
That's going to be your kids' one. The $400 64 gig one is going to be for kids. That's going to be for little Tommy, little Billy, little Tina.
To be honest with
Sally.
you, most people are going to get the 64 gig because that's going to be the one that's going to be available first.
So what's going to happen is, what I think is going to happen is, this is going to create a whole bunch of new Steam accounts. Because Tommy, Billy, little Jenny, little Bob, little Ray, little DJ, little Artemis.
But they might already have, because the people that
the average 12 and under probably doesn't have a Steam account. I could be wrong, but okay, jump into Nintendo. Think of the Nintendo Switch fan area, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and things of that nature. Let's say you're taking a 10 years old and under. They probably don't have their own Steam account.
You're right, but I think the issue you're going to run into is that the people that's going to get the Steam account the people that's going to get the Steam Deck already have Steam accounts.
Yeah, but...
And I think they're going to eat up majority of the units.
But the people getting the $400 model are going to be mostly towards casual gamers or kids, I think.
I don't think so.
And then all those casual gamers and kids are going to open new Steam accounts, which is going to open up the Steam, which is going to... So the units themselves are going to push the thing, but the real money we all know is in the actual games themselves, and then the things inside the game, with the different packages you're going to get. Okay. So we had a crossroads on that.
But I'm gonna tell you, because most of the people I've been reading on some of the forums, most of the people that want the game already have a Steam account. They just want their games to be more
that is true.
On the go.
Is true, but they're not going to get that $400 model.
I bet you they're going to get it, be happy with it, then sell it to get the higher model.
What I think is going to happen is the mid-tier and high-tier models won't be available at launch. All you're going to be able to have is the $400 models.
And that's where everybody's going to sell it for.
So that's going to do some selling. But people that actually want a game that really, really need the game, they're going to be the mid-tier to high-tier, which is the 530 to the 650 range, because they're the guys with the big libraries, the 20-plus crowd, the actual gamers that got a game and that has to travel and things of that nature. $400 range is going to be an introduction to that game for kids, because the average parent is not going to spend more than that, to get your kid a unit, especially something they can drop. Especially something they can drop.
Dude, parents are spending thousands of dollars to get their kid a PlayStation 5.
What parents you know? Well, no parent in their right mind will give their kid a $700 handheld. Come on. I mean, this right here, you can put it on a TV, you can handheld once in a while, but it's giving your kid almost $700, $800 worth of technical hardware, Marvel of the universe kind of thing, for them to drop, because they're trying to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while sipping on a sippy.
Get to the next part.
I'm just saying, I would never do that. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, we wouldn't, but
anyway,
people, you know, they do what they want to do.
All right, so that's the comparison between the two. Now, processor-wise, so for the Steam Deck, you got the AMD APU. Okay, now the different price points have slightly different processors. Is that correct?
No, not the processor. It has different RAM.
Different RAMs, and the way the RAM functions controls the speed. Like, even though you have the size, but the speed variation.
Yeah.
Is there. So for the Steam Deck, you're looking at an AMD APU, and a bunch of other technical numbers and technical jargon.
You have the
that's probably not going to make any sense.
You have CPU Zen, is 4.4 to 3.5 gigahertz up to
448 gigaflops.
FP32. The GPU is the CPU was the Zen. The GPU is 8
RDNA
2 1.0 to 1.6 gigahertz up to 1.6 teraflops of APU power. Draw is between 4 to 15 watts. Right there, and the Switch is going to be NVIDIA custom Tegra processor.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to even go there because the Steam Deck crushes.
Nerd.
It crushes the power of the Switch. But the thing is, the games for the Switch.
This is the
They look very good.
Yeah. So to note to what he's saying, the Switch has the cards, which holds a lot of data on it, which helps the unit from doing as much processing as it has to do. But everything on that card and the data wise has been specifically created to look its best on that Switch.
Yes. So even though the the APU, the Zen, and the GPU, it's a crusher. I can't, Switch is not going to be able to.
You're going to find those processors in a decent laptops.
Maybe a 2-year-old, maybe 3-year-old laptop.
Yeah, which is fairly decent. So.
Okay.
Right.
The RAM is going to be 16 gigabytes of LL.
No, I'm reading Steam Deck. You read the Switch.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Come on, man. Stop switching up the Switch. For you get me all Steam and I have to deck you.
Can you hurry up, please?
All right, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right, so Steam Deck, we're talking 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, and that is going to be 5,500 MTs. Okay, and so what you rocking?
I'm only rocking 8 gig.
I'm not what you rocking, but what is the Switch?
8 gigs of RAM.
8 gigabits.
So basically, RAM is like RAM is like air for your computer, and put it in a layman's terms. So the Switch has double the air than the
no, not Switch. Steam.
The Steam Deck has double the air. So I mean, the processing, they can get more. It can do more things simultaneously.
Yeah, the processor can rock a lot smoother. Now, it has to have that at least because remember you're downloading everything onto the hard drive. So
in the newer games, at least you have to have 16 gigs.
And
your what's the name?
Another factor to that is you can play why am I pointing over there? You can play the Nintendo Switch on your regular Wi-Fi units and be just fine. But the type of games that's going to be on the Steam Deck is going to have some really complicated stuff that you're going to have some good Wi-Fi to really take advantage of all the RAMs and processing that the game is going to have.
All right, go ahead.
All right, moving on to the next thing. So, this one is very interesting. This one is a game changer, pun intended, for either one. Let's get into the game library. So for the Steam Deck, you have the entire Steam catalog. Everything is at your disposal, provided you have space to download it on the Steam Deck in the first place.
And you're going to have to change. Hold on, to be honest.
No.
You're going to have to change and tweak the settings to get it to run at a reasonable frame rate.
Okay, now that also has a lot to do with the game itself, and then also it has a lot to do with how many gigabytes, what version gigabytes you get. So what about the Nintendo Switch?
It has the Nintendo Switch games, which you got Mario Kart. It has a lot of legacy. I mean, not legacy, but it has a lot of franchise things like Zelda, Link, you have Mario Kart, Mario Golf. You have all of their first party games that people love.
So,
It's first party games that people love. To the whole, I mean, the Steam got the whole. I mean, it's got.
yeah, you can look at over 400 or 500 games. But look, Nintendo has an exclusivity that they're going to have games that you can't get on Steam or anywhere else. So
if
that
you love Mario,
they already are well established in a fan base.
You love Metroids.
Where I'm telling everybody that has a Switch right now, whether it's working or not, or whether they play it all the time or not, are going to be tempted to get that OLED because it's only $350, which is $50 more than the original Switch.
Right.
So, and then if you're already in love with Nintendo and a fan of the Nintendo, and you get slightly better graphics and things of that nature, then most likely you're going to jump right over it automatically without. It's like seeing Friday the 13th. You've seen part 1, you've seen part 2, they're all the same. But a new one come out, you're like, I know it's going to be sucky, but I've seen all the other ones, so I got to get it. Kind of thing, you know. So, but the Steam Deck space is going to play a factor in how much stuff you actually put on there. You're going to find yourself taking games on and taking games on and off all the time, depending on which one you get. As a matter of fact, I don't think it matters which one you get. All right, so the controller's not really that important. So let's talk about the display size is going to be the same, 7 inches, 7.5 inches, give or tweak a couple centimeters, not that important. So let's talk resolution because there's a difference in resolution. So resolution-wise, looking at 1080 by 800 pixels, which is the 16:10 aspect ratio for the Steam Deck.
And for the Switch, it's up to 7P in handheld mode and up to 1080p dock. Now, the thing is, with the Steam Deck, if you dock it, it can push out 4K. But the dock comes separately, whereas the Switch, the dock comes with the Switch. So if you get the dock and you have a 4K screen, you'll be able to pump out 4K games.
That is that.
So, but the reason why I think both of them, and I'm not, in handheld mode, 720p is not bad because it saves on batteries. You don't have to push a lot of stuff. So I think both of them are, to me, is okay.
Okay.
I think there's really no. I mean, OLED is going to be a little bit richer. It's going to be a little bit more deeper blacks. It's going to be a little bit. I think it's going to be a better looking screen than what the Steam Deck is offering. But to me, when you have two games sitting up here like this, and both of y'all are looking at it, really, you're not going to really,
Yeah. And like I said, for the Steam Deck, because you're downloading everything on there, and it's going to be a big deal. You're going to find yourself dumbing down those resolution settings to get a smoother gameplay.
Yeah.
Most likely. Probably. Another thing is covering as Bluetooth. Bluetooth's not a big deal for most people, but this one is taking a Bluetooth 5th generation, so which means you can have a Bluetooth earpiece and a Bluetooth controller. So the Steam Deck can take multiple Bluetooth units. Now, the Switch does not, but there is an adapter.
Yeah, but
you can't get an adapter that you plug into the bottom to give you Bluetooth.
But the problem is, you don't want a dongle. You don't want adapters. You want it to be straight up in the machine.
It is, and it's going to be on the bottom, I believe, and it does stick out a little bit. But if you absolutely positively want that Bluetooth, because it's a handheld, so you're not going to be away from it. So you're going to a wired headset is to be just fine.
Now, one thing I do want to say is that with the Steam, with the Switch, let me see it. I can take these things off. The thing is, I can take these off and set it down, and have my control. So it's not like, the Bluetooth is needed. I mean, I think it is for some things, but for most Nintendo people, they're used to putting it up, setting it up, getting the other part, putting it in like this.
And actually, if it's 2 players,
right, both of y'all can sit up there and boom, boom, boom. So my thing is that I think that both of them have like what you said, with the Bluetooth, it's going to allow you to put the peripherals there that you need. Headset, plus if you want to put it in, put it down, the stand, so you can still do it.
That's a matter of preference for the Bluetooth thing. I think it's a
good thing.
Because if the Steam Deck, you can Bluetooth earpiece and put multiple joysticks on there. Or because you can get your PlayStation or Xbox Bluetooth enabled controllers. Well, and then attach them to your
right. And so that's the wrong thing. So if you get an Xbox controller, put it in. Xbox controller has the earpiece you can put right into the controller and everything that's going out. So
now my thing is, why would 2 people want to? I mean, I guess maybe you're in a car situation, you're driving somewhere, you can mount it onto the car seat and your 2 kids can play, I guess. But the screen is not going to be but 7 inches. So, laptop, people. Laptop.
Right.
Okay. All right, so...
both of them gonna have SD card slots expansion.
SD card, yes.
Both of them gonna have
that. So battery life. So the Steam Deck, depending on what you're running and what gigabytes you get, what type of game you're running and stuff like that, if you put the high res settings on, try to get the best res, got a good internet connection. You're running at a good gigabyte. The game fits on it just fine.
You get 2 hours.
You go from 2 to 8 hours. So the higher your res, knock that hour down.
I'm gonna put it like this to you. For most, I don't know the real world application yet. Real world application is you're going to probably get 3 hours if you run everything to the max. Full brightness screen, you got your Bluetooth going, and you're on the go. So, but see, this is the thing. Most of us now have battery packs.
Yeah.
So, no, don't move that one right there. We have these. So this can be a game changer. Oh, game changer.
Pun intended.
Game changer, because if you hook this up, as long as you can play and you hook on this, you have a lot more power.
Yeah.
So my thing is, 2 to 8 hours is only going to be bad if you don't have one of these. If you don't have one of these, then you're lost without a cause.
Yeah, and a lot of them had the slots already in your technical backpacks.
Yep.
I have the port for USB for multiple batteries you can put inside your backpack.
Now the Switch is 4.5 to 9 hours.
Which is slightly better, but then again, like we said, that depends on the game.
Well, yeah, but you got to remember, it's only running. See, there's no settings to tweak on here. The only setting you could tweak maybe on here is your screen brightness.
Yeah. And
so
the reason why the hours vary upon that, it depends on the game itself too, and what the game is pulling off of the machine.
Yeah,
itself.
so if you have the internet
so
going,
that's not a big buying
I
factor.
think I've gotten maybe 6 hours, close to about 5 hours playing it in handheld.
Yeah, and if you pause it, if you like,
how about your
pause
kids?
it, take a
your
break.
kids got the smaller one, right?
They got the lights.
How long do they normally last? If you Madison, how? Because I know.
I don't know, because they never charge it. And now the reason why that varies too is because she can watch videos.
Yeah.
She can watch YouTube.
Both of them you can do the same thing on both of them.
Yeah.
So on the Steam Deck,
the Steam Deck is a full handheld
computer. Right. So anything you can do on your computer.
Check email.
You can do it all on there. So
Facebook.
So it's actually a more robust system on the Steam Deck because of the fact it's a computer.
Gaming is only a partial aspect of the Steam Deck.
Right.
It's really a cell phone. It's a cell phone. It's like a tablet, pretty much.
Right.
With high resolution and complicated games and tasks that you can do. I take it back. Not a tablet. It's a laptop.
Okay, yeah.
It's a laptop.
It's a miniature laptop.
It's a low grade laptop.
I'm not gonna say low grade because $700 and some we get that. That's a gaming laptop, bro. It's
a handheld laptop. That's what it is.
Right.
It does everything a laptop does.
Now the size.
Well, size is not. You're looking at size wise that can be huge.
But this is about the size. I think maybe a little
it says
longer.
It's 11 inches.
It's about 11 inches, so it's gonna be a little longer than this.
Yeah, and this one's 9.5.
Right. So you can see that this is still. If this was the Steam and this was the, you can see how. You can still see it's gonna be bigger, way bigger than the
And this right here is actually, what is this one right here?
That's a Wii.
This is the actual Wii, which was replaced by the Switch.
Right. So
we just use that as a thing in open.
Because we've never touched it, so we
like it to have fun. We like it to have fun.
Now this is the thing me and him always argue about, and that's gonna be the weight. Yeah. He doesn't think that. Go ahead, what's the Steam?
All right. So the Steam, you're looking at 1.47 pounds. It's under 2 pounds, y'all. I had sandwiches that weigh more than the Steam Deck.
Okay. And
today.
And the Switch is 0.71 pounds. Way under.
That's a medium fry.
So this is my thing. Me and him always debate this, but I think the thing is this: I will be able to hold longer and play longer in a comfortable position before I have to do this.
Now, much credit to the Nintendo franchise, because
even this is not that heavy. I mean, compared to this, it's heavier.
Yeah, they went from this to that, and then not to mention the light, which is half the size of that, and weight.
Right.
So The Steam Deck though is going to have fans.
Yes.
That's going to cool off the unit and things of that nature. So they kind of require it. And
I think it's going to be.
It has a touchpad built in right under the controller, so a thumb pad and the multiple pads under there. So it has a lot more going on. So it's not just heavy for no reason.
Well, no, we're not saying, but I think when people play it, they're going to after a while. Because we looked at Linus Tech Tips, and he was looking at the other handheld devices that's out there that I didn't even know about. It just popped up on my YouTube, and we looked at it. And these things were massive. And he said even for him, he said it was getting heavy for him playing it in like this mode. So I'm thinking, I'll bet my bottom dollar that most people, even little kids or adults, are going to have a hard time being comfortable like this. Now, if you can put it down, I think that'd be cool.
Now, my rebuttal to that is, when you get this unit, you're not going to find anything else with the processing power and capability.
Oh, I'm not saying don't get it.
No. I'm
not saying that.
You had your speed. You had your speed.
Oh, forget you.
You're not going to find anything else in handheld wide stream like this with the processing power and capabilities that this is going to have, and it's going to weigh under a pound.
That's true. Because even the ones that we looked at weigh...
Unless...
What?
Talk about your cell phone. But the cell phone's not going to have access to the Steam library.
So now let me ask the burning question, and this is what me and him came up with, and I think we do agree. Is the Steam Deck the...
Switch killer?
Switch killer. What do you think?
I think Nintendo's experience in the gaming industry is going to outplay the Steam Deck. Steam Deck is new, it's shiny, it's bright. It's going to come out. It's going to have bugs. It's going to have issues. It's going to have problems. It's going to have a ton of complaints. It's going to get some good reviews, some okay reviews, and it's going to get some horrible reviews. I think Nintendo is still going to be on top at the end of this fight.
The problem, I think, when people looking at this being the Nintendo killer is that you're not going to kill Nintendo. The Nintendo has been on the top of the handheld market for years. The R&D, when they make their, like anybody, they make 3 or 4, 5, 6 different versions. They test it, see the R&D, the amount of time they put into it, and then not just that, the franchises, Pokemon. They have all these other games that people love. What I think is going to happen is that people will have the Switch and have a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I think most gamers will still have the Switch for those that are the Mario Kart lovers, those that love Zelda and all that, and then they will still have their Steam Deck. I don't think Steam Deck is going to ever overtake Switch because, first of all, Switch has the yield. They have the back. They can get everything together. They've been doing it for years. I'm not saying Steam can't do that, but you're looking at years of experience, and I'm not saying they don't have experience. This is their first foray into the handheld.
The next generation of the Steam Deck, the beta, is probably going to be a real contender because they're going to take all the flaws from the first one, get rid of them, and then the way technology jumps every 3 years there's a new tech upswing in the way things are being developed. It might be every
1 year now, but
yeah, it could be 1 year. You might be right on that.
But this is the thing, though. See, this is the thing. Now, Switch has to play catch up because now the next Switch, their next gaming system, because right now Switch is at the end of its life.
Mm-hmm. It's time for a new
generation. So this is the thing. Even though the Steam could come out with theirs, they're going to wait another 3 to 4 years to bring out a new one. They got to recoup their money. They got to recoup their R&D. They're not going to just drop another one in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're coming out with their new one, Switch will probably be in the half-life of their newer system.
You know what? Steam have some exclusive games. They have games that Epic and Wishcombe and them don't carry. Am I right? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There are some games you can only get on Steam.
Yeah, but is it good enough when you look at the likes of Mario? Well, you hold on, Mario.
No,
Zelda.
You can't compete with Mario.
Metroid.
Yeah, Sonic tried. Sonic probably came the closest. Crash Bandicoot was in the audience watching Sonic and Mario fight.
I think everybody wanted the PSP and the PS Vita to be and they couldn't do it. I think there's enough. If PlayStation can't overtake Nintendo, I don't think nobody can. The only thing Nintendo can do is mess up themselves. Like they had the drifting problems because this is my second controllers. They have a drifting problem with the controllers that drift. So they've known about that. So hopefully they'll fix that. But other than that, I'm not saying that the Switch is a perfect system. It's not. But when you're looking at is the Steam Deck the Switch killer? No. I think both people, like me and him, probably would get the next version.
Yeah, of the Steam Deck.
Of the Steam Deck.
What's the release date for the OLED?
It's in October.
October
The 20. Hold on, I think it's October the 8th or the 24th.
Okay, so you're looking at October for just the month is fine. October for the Switch, December for the Steam Deck.
Maybe most likely the cheapest Steam Deck.
Yeah. So you're gonna have some dedicated Nintendo fans that's just going to get the OLED, which is not a huge variation from the regular Switch actually. Now the Steam, like I said, it's fine. October's fine. The Steam Deck is shiny and new, and Steam, and just maybe it's shiny new, people gonna jump on it. They're gonna open a ton of new Steam accounts, and Steam people that love Steam and deal with it. That's gonna Epic Games and stuff like that. There's gonna be some pistivity because the person that bought a game on Epic instead of Steam because it was $5 cheaper or something like that is gonna be like, God dang it, you know. But you're gonna find some people repurchasing other games they already own on Steam just because of portability. So Steam's gonna get a huge bump in profit and sales and activity and accounts and so on and so forth. But when the smoke is cleared, when that final round is bell is rung, Nintendo's still gonna be on top.
I think because you're looking at a fan base. We're not even talking. We're talking about Switch worldwide right now. Probably it sits at about 85 million. Okay, that could be more, could be less. But you're talking about the community of older games that Switch is still, all the older Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And some of the older games you now can get on Switch from what's it? So I think after the dust clear, I think both people will be happy.
Pokemon alone will keep Nintendo afloat for the next 20 years.
So I'm just saying, for all the people who think that Steam is the Switch killer, Nintendo, it's not. Yeah. I mean, we're not happy with everything about the Switch. Like, people are not going to be happy with everything about the Steam Deck. But I think
now those first couple of months, once they get them bugs together, I'm not wishing it on them. I'm not at all. I'm just talking about technology and the release of every single gaming electronic device that came out since the beginning of electronic gaming.
It has bugs.
It's going to be some things that are factored in because they got to meet the demand of producing everything. Yeah. And because of COVID, they probably had to pull from different vendors and use different resources that they didn't intend to at first with the original blueprint of everything. So there's probably going to be some bugs. Hopefully that first generation that get bugs will get fixed, and it'll be like the first PlayStations,
right,
where you can have emulators where you can play. Remember the first PlayStation, you play Japanese version games that you knew how to. But then the new ones came out, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So hopefully there'll be some tomfoolery going on in there.
I just that's our view on it. Yeah. Like I said, we're not here to bash Nintendo nor the Steam Deck. I think the Steam Deck is going to make Nintendo push hard because they're going to eat into them. Even if they eat a little bit of the marketplace of Switch. Switch needs the competition. Switch needs the kick in the butt, and I think the Steam Deck is going to be the kick in the butt that Switch needs to get them to be where they need to be. So I'm hoping that the Steam Deck does very well. I'm hoping that it scares Switch to really stop the tomfoolery and give the people what they want: a good machine, a good fast machine.
Yeah.
Something a super. It's supposed to be a Switch Pro. I mean, hopefully we'll get that in the next Switch game. Yeah, their new console.
There hasn't been really any innovative technical drops for Nintendo
because they're always behind. Because they have to be behind because older technology, I guess, is a little safer to use and they know how to deal with it. Newer technology.
It's not that. It's because of game exclusivity. Because if they're pushing out the Mario, the Smash Brothers, the Pokemon,
they know how to program for it perfectly.
They know. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna flat out say it. Japan, Nintendo's gonna outsell anything you put out there.
That's true.
Steam Deck is made in America, so right then and there, it has a strike against it. And I mean, come on, guys. I mean, what was what's the other handheld Nintendo things? Remember the one you had the little flip up that
Yeah.
Pokemon was on? What's the
I can't. The Nintendo Lite, no, Nintendo, the 3DS.
game? Yeah, 3D. The Nintendo DS is alone.
Yeah, so
Nostalgia alone, because people they still play those today.
Yeah.
And them things are 20 years old. So anyway, that's when our little spiel on it, man. Anything else you want to add to that?
nah, I mean, we want both of them to do well. I think what we have to do is just be realistic.
Yeah. We're not biased either
No,
way.
we
We're just
want-
giving you some food for thought.
We just want both. We want the Steam Deck to do well because it'll kick. Because this is the thing: if Nintendo gets a more powerful system, then third-party game companies will want to put the games on Switch because of the fan base. It's not because they don't want to do it; it's because it takes a lot of time to put a port of a game on the Switch. They have to do it, lessen it to get on it. But if they can give something more powerful that third parties can put on there, Switch.
Let me tell you something.
Can you imagine playing Horizon Zero Dawn on a Switch?
No, I can't. I would never do that. Because I gotta have my big flat screen with the 4K and the brightness and the water from the plants are hitting you in the face and
I'm just saying,
hit the birds and the bees.
I'm just saying it would be a good thing to be able to take portably.
What I really want in a perfect world, what I hope, pray, and beg for the universe to drop into our laps.
What?
Is for PlayStation to go, oh, you want to throw your hat in the ring, huh? The champ is here. I want a three-way. I want
a new PS.
I want PlayStation Vita Plus.
But you know, if
I want PlayStation Mark 7.
I'm gonna tell you something. There's gonna be that because if you know they do it, Microsoft is gonna do so. You have a 4-way battle against all of them coming together.
Microsoft responds directly to PlayStation most of the time,
so
and vice versa.
That would be fun.
So if Microsoft,
I still think that Nintendo will still be on the heat.
I think at the end of the final battle, I think Nintendo will be on top. But I want PlayStation. The PSP and the Vita,
they were good. They were decent.
They're the first ones that jumped into what the Steam Deck is trying to do to open, like a PC style thing.
But this is the problem with it, and me and him had a discussion too. Thank you for bringing it up. Is that with the PSP and the PS Vita, you had to buy, say if I want to play a Metal Gear, I couldn't play that Metal Gear. I had to go buy another Metal Gear to play.
Just for the handheld.
Right. So my thing is, if they can now put their library on it and bring that out.
Come on, man.
Or the Xbox bring their library. I think if we can get a 4-way fight, even with a 4-way fight, I still think Nintendo, because of their first-party games, you're not going to get a Mario nowhere. You're not. I mean, even Zelda alone. Zelda alone.
Now wait a minute. Yeah, I forgot about Zelda. Zelda's a huge draw.
Right.
Now let me tell you something. PlayStation are the kings of exclusivity. All right, now Nintendo just did Nintendo, but PlayStation, out of all the game developers and processors out there, you can't get Zero Dawn Horizon anywhere else. You can't get Uncharted.
Yeah, but let me ask this question.
Xbox got Halo.
No, let me ask you. But if you look at all those, I'm gonna say Halo, bomb. People love Halo. Zero Dawn Horizon, or just the Uncharted franchise, bomb, right? But can it deal with Mario? Can it deal with Zelda? Can it deal with those?
You haven't seen it yet. But see, if PlayStation come out with a handheld, they're gonna have right off the bat, not like this PlayStation 5 thing. I think that was a bit of a debacle with like 3 or 4 exclusives. You're paying $1,000 for the daggone thing. Anyway, we ain't even gonna talk about that. PlayStation handheld come out, it's gonna be 10 exclusive games that'll be game selling systems.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're not right.
PlayStation play hardball when it comes to game exclusivity.
But can they outsell?
Yeah.
Outsell.
Anybody that has a Nintendo Switch has a PlayStation.
How about Mario? Not Mario. Okay, we're gonna leave Mario out. Can anything that PlayStation have right now do better than Pokemon?
Pokemon?
Right now, if they bring out a brand new Pokemon game, that's a system seller.
That's different.
Why is it different? It's an exclusive, but it's a first-party game that they own.
That's like.
Well, I don't know if they own it, but
Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has a bigger Pokemon has been constantly hitting you in the face.
Hold on.
But Final Fantasy.
How much
made you
did
buy
Final Fantasy VII sell worldwide? 12 million units. 12 million
What
units.
Final Fantasy?
I said Final Fantasy VII. I'm just using Final Fantasy 7.
You can't do because Pokemon is still coming out with new games.
No, I'm just
Polka Dot.
Some of no. Some of those are older games they just brought back.
Okay, well let me finish my point at least.
I want to see. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Oh my god. So we're just filming live for you guys to see him look stuff up on his phone because.
How many units has the recent Pokemon sold? How many units have the original? Well, go ahead and make your point because now you've cursed my thing and I won't do it.
Yeah, man, you gotta take that year that Final Fantasy came out and compare it with something Nintendo put out that year, and then compare the two. That way.
The problem is
anyway. What I was saying.
Go ahead.
Anybody that owns a Nintendo Switch, has a PlayStation or Xbox in their house because you can't just play Nintendo games. If you're a gamer, you're not just gonna be. Once you beat Zelda, what's the next game you're going to play? It's going to be Metal Gear Solid. It's going to be Gears of War. It's going to be Halo. It's going to be Uncharted. It's going to be Zero Dawn Horizon. Because no one only plays one system anymore. Would you agree with that or disagree?
That's true. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, because you have a Nintendo. And before we even got into the gaming channel, he has every gaming system you can think of here. Because different systems have different games that you want to play. If you don't want to play a Nintendo type game, you have to get another system.
Hold on, let me see that.
So PlayStation handheld will make a killing.
How many units did the recent Pokemon game sell for the Switch?
Here's a summary from Statista. Pokemon Sword and Shield has sold approximately 20.35 million units worldwide.
Yeah. And the other one was Final Fantasy was 18 million, wasn't it?
Right.
Final Fantasy 7 from 80 years ago.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is
sold almost as many copies.
Yeah.
The equivalency.
What would be what? Name me a game right now.
Equivalency. Anyway.
No, I'll give you equivalent.
Can you wrap up the video?
No, we're not. We're going to debate this. Hold on.
We had to cut this video in half.
How much did Zero Dawn Horizon sell you? How many units did Zero Dawn Horizon sell?
Here's a summary from Wikipedia.
And that's
the game won
19.
numerous awards and sold over 10 million copies by February 20.
So
it's 19.
2019.
Okay.
So recently, you gotta remember, Sword and Shield probably came out in 2019.
Did it? I don't know. Look,
when did Pokemon Sword and Shield come out?
Regardless. Now.
Pokemon Sword and Shield's initial release date is.
Oh, okay.
So you're talking about 20 million sold versus what? 10 million sold, or a little over 10 million.
And you're not even talking. You're talking about a franchise that only has 2 games and the second game hasn't come out yet. That's not fair, dude.
No, we're talking. No,
Pokemon has been dealing with kids since they were 6 until they're 36. That's not fair.
No. What I'm just saying.
Zero Dawn Horizon has one entry, and it still did half of it. That's 20 years old, and it still did half of that.
What I'm saying to you is, when you have those beloved games, and you have 85 million units out there sold.
That's fine, but see, once you finish playing Pokemon, or once you get to a point where you're like, man, I can't get past this level. I need to play something else. I don't play one type of game the whole time. I'll play Metal Gear Solid, then I'll jump off Metal Gear. I'll play Rise of the Phoenix. Then I'll get off of Rise of the Phoenix. I want something a little more serious. I'll play Splinter Cell. I'll play the games.
That's why he never finished none of them.
I finished all of them. I'll play games of how I feel. But
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
What I'm saying, no one exclusively plays Nintendo.
What I'm saying to you, and you're right.
So a PlayStation handheld will get half that market.
But yeah, okay.
Now, one single game beating their exclusive games, maybe not. Okay, that's cool. But the sale of the units, and then if you can tap into your existing PlayStation library.
Hold on, this is the problem though. Now this is the problem, and then we're gonna close it out here. The price is gonna matter with the PlayStation or the Xbox. If they cannot beat that on price, they're gonna have a problem.
Maybe. But right off the bat, PlayStation and Xbox, if you do decide to throw your hat into the ring,
please send us please send the Game Changers a unit so we can test the unit out.
Definitely.
So show us some love.
Regardless of my PlayStation shirt I'm wearing, I will be biased. But anyways, I was gonna say, don't put out nothing with 64 gigabytes. Don't put out nothing with 8 RAMs. Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, it's garbage. Okay, 128 gigs.
Yeah,
16 RAMs at least.
16 gigs.
Start off there. Yeah.
You said that's 16 RAMs.
16. What I say?
You said 16 RAMs. It's 16 gigs. gigabytes.
16 gigabytes, 128 RAM.
No, 120 gigs of memory, 16 gigabytes.
RAM is memory.
No,
I know what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
Look, 128 memory,
Gigs,
128 memory,
and 16
and
gigs
16 RAM.
of RAM.
Yeah, that's what I said the first time. But he's so backwards. I said it right the first time.
Look, do us a favor, kill us the HBO special.
I quit. I'm leaving.
Tell them the HBO special.
I'm leaving.
Tell them the HBO special.
HBO specialist, help a brother out.
In other words, we want you to please subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
So you can see some hilarious stuff that we do, because we don't make sense half the time.
But
And subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and share so we can get into that YouTube algorithm.
Yes,
and get the
sir.
rhythm of the rhythms.
And to see even more content like this, some behind the scenes laughter, goofy stuff that we filming right here on TikTok, go to game_changers_ENT. See some behind the scene or beside the scene footage, and you'll see some real funny stuff there. So make sure you check us out.
This is your boy Blur,
This is your boy Blitz.
and we will GCE you later.
Thank you to the old and new subscribers. We love you.
We love you, and thank you for rocking with us.
Whoop, whoop.